Hello friends, Psyberry here, with another Darkest Dungeon How to Use guide. It's not Saturday at all, but I figured I would make a mod guide today to make up for the upload I missed last week. Life happens sometimes, I suppose. Before I get to the mod of the day, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button, share with a friend, somebody who will enjoy it, you know. I want to thank all of you. You've all got this community up to the precipice of 200 subs as of the moment I am recording this, which is insane. If you ask me, I didn't expect to get 50, let alone 200 who cared what I had to think. So honestly, I'm just dumbfounded by it every week. Regardless, I'm grateful to all of you and really excited for what the future might bring. And if you want to help more, just subscribe here and share this channel with a friend. That will help immensely. Alright, let's get down to business. I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm not even going to fight it anymore. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into how to play the Duelist. I've been looking forward to getting this one covered, but I gave it some time to try and get some of these trinkets to drop, so I still haven't got many. I think I've got one. But anyway, let's start with the credits. Dragon was the design lead behind this class, and the coder and the funder. Dismas did the art. 54NBB did the animation. Metal Guy, it says in the credits, did Disarm TFX. I assume that means the target effect for Disarm, but regardless, he had something to do with the Disarm ability. Ouroboros Art did the trinket art, and Retrograded helped with the design and the balance, and gave technical help. So, let's get to the Duelist herself, then. Her canon name is Casey, and yes, it is a her, and she's great. Let's take a look at her base stats to start with. Normally I don't have trinkets equipped on this, but this is the one I'm going to be taking on a quest, so bear with me. Her HP starts at first resolve with 20 HP, and it goes up to a max of 35 at 5 resolve. This is below average. This is the same, more or less. It's very comparable to the Grave Robber or the Jester's HP. It's not what you really want to see on your front line, but we'll get to why this isn't necessarily a death sentence in a minute. Or maybe 5 seconds from now, because we'll get right into the dodge stat, which starts out as a 15 at opening resolve, and it goes up just like the Jester does, up until you hit resolve 4, where it jumps from a 25 to a 35 and a maximum of 40. This is the top of the line. This is the best dodge that I've found in a class so far. And it really suits her, because how protective could you be and how important could you be as a duelist if you are not dodging incoming attacks, especially one with pretty low HP. The speed stat, she doesn't normally have a prot, it's just because I have equipment on her. The speed stat starts at a 6, and it moves to a 7 at third resolve, and an 8 at final resolve. This is a good speed stat. It's the same as the Occultist. It's a little slower than like a Plague Doctor or whatnot, but you're going to be frequently outspeeding Highwayman and the like. So I would definitely mark this as a good speed. Accuracy is default plus 0. Nothing weird to see there. The crit is what I consider to be average. It starts out at 3% crit bonus and proceeds all the way to a 7% at max resolve. This is the same growth as a Man-at-Arms, so she's going to crit decently. It really depends on the skill usage, though. And her damage is a kind of unique situation. She's got custom damage rolls. At opening resolve, she has 8 to 10 damage, and at max resolve, she does 12 to 15 damage. You'll notice that those are really reined in close to that top end, which I kind of like. It makes her reliable as far as damage dealing. But as far as comparisons, it's really hard to compare. If you just look at her minimum damage all the way up, for instance, her minimum damage is the same or very close to Leper's minimum damage. However, her maximum damage is probably closer to Bounty Hunter, something where you need other buffs to make them top of the line, that kind of thing. But she has a few of those. We'll see as we get into her combat skills. This is definitely, I would consider it a good frontline damage, and the fact that she is dealing reliable damage is just bonus. So now that we get into her combat skills, we'll just start with Blade from the Blue. It is a melee attack usable from the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd rank, and you can target any enemy rank with it. This will move her forward 1. Has an accuracy base of 95, a damage modifier of -10%, and a crit modifier of +5%. It does an additional bonus of 20% damage if the torch is below 26, so if you're going on any dark runs, she is your best friend. And it also does an additional +50% damage while stealthed. I prefer to try and make that happen in any of my builds that I run out with her. Low light, I'm not a huge fan of. I frequently like to abuse the torch system to snuff the torch right before I, gather loot, and then have full light in combat, just because, shit happens, and I don't want to be critted a lot. Her second combat skill is Feint. It is usable from the 1st or 2nd rank, and you may target any enemy rank with this ability. It's a melee attack, has an accuracy base of 105, which is pretty darn good, a damage modifier of -100, so it's not going to do damage, and it has no bonus to crit. It bypasses stealth and de-stealths the opponent, and it will debuff them for -16 dodge. This will also buff yourself for 7 dodge. So this is a good setup move if you want to get rid of a stealth, like you're in a middle level or middle tier or high tier dungeon, and you got stealthing enemies everywhere. This is a good way to remove that from them, and also set yourself up to be able to dodge incoming attacks if you're going to set up a riposte or a guard at any point, which we'll get to later. This is not a bad way to start that off. But it is, I would say it's situational. Her third ability is Disarm. It is usable from the 1st or 2nd rank, and you could target the 1st or 2nd rank of the opponent. It's a melee attack with an accuracy base of 95, a damage modifier of -70%, and a crit mod of +3%. What it does is it debuffs your target. It's going to debuff their accuracy, it looks like, their crit, and their damage. 17% accuracy is nothing to scoff at, and 30% damage reduction is pretty nice. That bonus to crit is just going to make so you shouldn't be taking crits from that enemy, at all. That 12% should be enough to make it very, very unlikely. These debuffs last for 1 round. The fourth ability is Slice. It is usable from the 1st or 2nd rank, and you may target the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd rank of the opponent. It's a melee attack with 100 base accuracy, a damage modifier of -30%, and a crit mod of 3. This will force a bleed for 2 points a round for 3 rounds. This is a decent bleed, and it's a nice way to set it up, especially if you need bleed for some other character synergy reasons. Say you get a combat skill that has bonus damage to a bleeding target. This is not a bad way to start that. I find that when this is useful, I more often gravitate to Blade from the Blue anyway. But they are both very good basic attacks to build your build around. Her fifth ability is Backpedal. It's only usable from the front 2 ranks, and you can target the 1st and 2nd rank of the opponent. It is a melee attack, and this will move her back 1 rank. Has an accuracy base of 90 and a crit modifier of +1%. It will stealth you for 2 rounds. It's a good setup for Blade from the Blue to get that bonus damage. And it will buff yourself +2 speed and +10 dodge if the torch is low. It will debuff yourself. It disables Backpedal. I don't use this move a ton. I probably should. So I'm not sure how long that debuff is. It's probably only a few rounds, if I had to guess. Her 6th ability is On Guard, and it guards an ally. It only guards them for 1 round, and it will buff yourself for 12 dodge during that time. So this is kind of a... this is an oh shit button. Like, let's say you get an ally on Death's Door, and then the Duelist turn comes up. You can defend them so they don't die, and hopefully that works out for you. Because if she takes a hit, I mean, you're going to be in a worse situation. But this is definitely a very good panic button, so keep this in mind. If you have a team that has some kind of fragility to it, then maybe this might be a good spot in your moveset. And her final and 7th ability is Come At Me. It activates Riposte on yourself. It's usable from any rank. It will mark yourself as a target, and it buffs your Riposte crit by 1% and debuffs your damage like a normal Riposte does. I believe... Let's see what a level 4 one's like. Yeah, it hovers very closely to around 50%. I imagine that the final one goes to a minus 40% riposte damage, which is pretty normal. I mean, that just means at low level it's a little more reliable than damage-wise than a Highwayman's riposte, but at max level it's very comparable. So you're going to find that she can put out some decent damage with that. This riposte, it doesn't say on here, and I didn't think about looking it up. It lasts longer than a typical riposte. I'm not sure if it's 1 round or 2, so you're going to find it's going to say it activates riposte for 4 rounds or whatever, but it's really going to last 3 inputs of the skill. So, taking a look at her camping skills real quick, she's got the normal Encourage, Wound Care, Pep Talk. And her first unique camping ability is Remember the Dead. It is a time cost 2 ability, and it will increase Virtue Chance by 10% for herself for 8 battles, and it will de-stress her for 15 stress. So this is a good way to basically get an Encourage, but on yourself and with the bonus of 10% Virtue Chance. So this is going to, I don't know. I figure I get use out of this a lot, but I usually don't get her actually with a lot of stress on her, oddly enough. Her second camping skill is Spar. It is a time cost 4 ability. You will add, for the next 4 battles, you give buffs to yourself and 1 companion. It'll give you plus 10 accuracy and plus 5 dodge, and it will do the same for your companion of choice. So all you do is you select an ally you want to have more accuracy and dodge, and they spar for 4 time. However that's measured. It's probably not hours, I would have to imagine. Her third camping skill is Aspiration. It is a time cost 3 ability, and she buffs herself with this. She's going to add 5 more to her accuracy, give herself 10 more dodge, and a bonus of 5% crit for the next 4 battles. If you don't quite have enough left in your time cost to use Spar, this is not a bad second option. I find that one of these last 2 has to stay off my camping skills more often than not, and it's a really hard choice, honestly. She's got some pretty fun and functional camping skills. Her final one is Dance with Death. It's a time cost 1 ability, so this is a good final roll of the dice when you're camping and you have a point left over. But what it does is it's going to add to your accuracy, your dodge, and your crit for the next 4 battles, but you're also going to get a minus 30 death blow resistance for that time. So if shit hits the fan, it's going to hit real hard, because honestly her death blow, I haven't really directed attention to it, but it's a 50%, and I don't think that goes up, does it? It does not. So say goodbye to that 67% default. You do not want her at Death's Door, period. So, what else can I say about her? Her crit effect will buff her dodge further. So that's nice. She can become a real dodge tank. You just get 1 crit in an early round, and all of a sudden you're untouchable until the battle's well decided. Let's see. Party comp-wise, what would I put her with? She doesn't really have a lot of need for stress reduction, but I ain't gonna argue if you put a jester in a party with her. That's just gonna make sure she stays alive. Her real concern is HP damage, so just make sure... I mean, you could run her with a Vestal, that would be fine, especially if you equip, you know, her single target healing. Basically what she needs is to be guaranteed that if she drops really low on health, someone can mostly fill that shit back up so she doesn't hit death's door. So, yeah, as long as you've got a functional healer and 1 other attacker of some kind, then you're pretty good. You really don't need much else. Synergy-wise, if you have any classes you like to run that give stealth to an ally, or if you have a team you prefer to run in dark runs, she's really good in either of those situations. I have... With Blade from the Blue, that's a shit ton of damage if you're stealthed, so that's just bonus points. Quirks just to lock on her, anything that adds to her damage or her crit. If you're guaranteeing that you're pretty much going to run her in dark runs all the time, oh god, what is it called? One of the dark damage boosting quirks will probably benefit you greatly. Otherwise, I would just focus on Precise Striker would be really good for her. More importantly, I think Luminous is one to look out for. Anything that boosts her dodge. Having a good speed stat, like an above average speed, means she's really malleable if you're speed fixing to try and make certain people behave in a certain order. But there's not a hell of a lot of need for her to do that, so... Oh well. Trinkets, like I kind of mentioned before, I haven't had a lot of her trinkets drop. This is, I think, the only one I officially have of hers. The Armor Polish, it's the rare trinket. It subtracts 10 stress, adds 10% to her virtue chance, which is nice. Adds 10 prot, at the cost of 10% damage, which is why I'm using Dismiss's Head rather than, like, a legendary bracer or something. So, let's activate her stuff again so that I don't fucking forget. I'm just gonna put those on, why not? So let's just see how she works, right? Luckily enough, actually, one of her other trinkets popped up on this, which is why I'm using the level 1 version and not the higher level one. But I could get her ambush boots this way, and they add 3% to your crit, a bonus 3% crit while stealthed, and another bonus 3% crit if the torch is low. It will also add 10% chance that monsters are surprised, which is really good in the dark, because that's probably the worst thing about dark runs, is that you get surprised way more often than they do. At the cost of -2 speed after the first round, so round 2 and 3 and 4 and yada 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 is going to be a little worse. I have a trinket here that's going to give me a chance of stealth after I attack, so hopefully we can get that to proc at least once.
Corruption has soaked the soil, sapping all good life from these groves. Let us burn out this evil.
Alright, we didn't get a scout to start off with. That makes me sad.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
You're my looter in this case. Just show off your sprite. I love this guy. I'm sorry, per sprite. My bad. The sprite work is great. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
The light, the promise of safety.
Still almost Went into the next light setting. Alright. Let's get some setup going.
To the pit.
But I'm Chop. Let's see. I'm gonna start with Slice. I know it's not gonna bleed a skeleton. I'm just seeing if I can get a stealth. But that didn't happen. So... Nice. Nice. I don't have the right moves on you? Are you kidding? Well, this is a waste. Haha!
Be gone, fiend.
He's as good as dead anyway, but, you know, might as well quicken it up a little bit.
This
the
expedition
hell?
at least promises success.
Well, I'm gonna put that on first because I'm crazy. Let's do that. Well, one battle, that was pretty uneventful. They're not giving me a lot of enemies to work with here. I didn't switch the party around.
Another
Fun.
abomination cleansed from our lands.
It's, yeah, you're gonna find that there's not a lot of enemies that she can't hit. She's got immense range with those two attack abilities. And oddly enough, none of her attacks... Oh, actually, one of them was, wasn't it? Backpedal officially does damage, so I assume it does full damage. I'm gonna try that next. Because it doesn't say it does negative damage on it, and it does have a target, so... This party was flawed when I put it together,
With impunity.
and I didn't think about it. She needs to be in rank 1, or this party
Success
starts
so
to
clearly in view.
devour itself.
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Alright, let's get this treasure real quick. Why
Wealth
not?
beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Let's see how much damage I can crank out in the dark. I didn't equip that skill. I'm gonna go to 4 combats. You'll have to excuse my dalliance into 4 combats, but
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
that's just incredibly stupid. I had one goal: to use the move I have not used.
Destroy.
See if it does damage. Because if it does, that's a really good combination. I'm not gonna lie. Well, that's dumb. Yeah, this party is not functional like I want it to be.
Disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
I imagine they could work together, but you'd probably need to do some speed fixing to make it happen.
Brought low and driven
Because
into
we don't
the
want
mud.
him to shuffle into the front ranks. That's not what we want. Nope. 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 There we go. I almost did a dumb again. It's like it's what I do. Like I'm known for the doing of the dumb. There we go. We got a combat. I'm again going to do it in the dark. Giggity. Just because I want to see how much damage he can do. She can do. Son of a bitch. I have that problem with every character class that doesn't show their face. And it bugs me that that happens to me. It does do damage. Holy shit. And it will activate stealth. So it's a really good combo, actually. I'm not gonna lie. See how much damage I can crank out. Aside from the fact that I did a stupid and put him in the back. Yikes.
Continue the onslaught.
Damn it.
Destroy them all.
Let's do that then. Fucking cannot believe I wasted that turn. This party. Oh my god. Do not put this party together, like, and start, you know, fucking around with your moves. No, it's just I discovered a new way to play her, I suppose. That's, well, not new to you, I imagine, but definitely new to me. I'm extending this fight to give her another shot at showing that moveset off.
Sedated.
Don't die. That's fine. Don't die. That's fine. Alright, well... Alright, let's try this again. This time, you're in the front, so I'm not fucking myself over.
Their formation is broken.
And that's stealth. My god. It's so godly. Oh, the crit heal. I didn't need that. Well, here goes. Oh, I imagined he was gonna go first. Let's, I can use that from 3rd rank, but I'm gonna do this anyway, just to be safe. Come on, man. Just give her turn. There we go. Let's see how much damage it puts out. With the prot considered, that is pretty immense. Considering a 100% damage move was doing 8, dealing 14 on there. Woof. Well, that is how to play the Duelist. Now that I've figured it out, I highly recommend Backpedal and Blade from the Blue as a combo. And anything else, honestly, you can't go wrong with her moveset. Well, there should be another Straturday guide video coming up this Saturday. I apologize for missing that one last weekend. It's just one of those weekends, man. I just had to have some time away, clear my head a bit, and I'm right back at it. So, thanks for watching. Remember to leave a like and share with a friend. It's going to help immensely, and thanks for tuning in. Stay frosty.